Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. So in this one I wanted to talk about Modern Warfare 4 and Infinity Ward and why I have faith in them and in that game as well. So I know that some of you might actually hate my opinion for this, but there's reasons behind it, and at the same time I also know that I'm very, very early in terms of talking about this subject, especially since Black Ops 4 has only been a month into its release cycle. So I understand, but at the same time, I wanted to make this video because, especially with recently how we're finding all sorts of behind the scenes stuff about Treyarch, especially very recently within the last day or two or whatnot, it kind of to a certain extent it inspired me to kind of make this video, because the more I look at it, especially from a more mature point of view, especially after I gave Infinite Warfare a shot, a fair shot, so to speak. I've learned a lot from the time of the fact that, well, you can't really fully judge a game or its developers until you give the game a full shot, at least, regardless of what the first impressions of that game may be like. So you got to be fair. And with Infinity Ward, I strongly feel that these guys are the equivalent of that one player that you have on your basketball team that is not nearly as talented as the rest of your team, but absolutely tries his ass off time and time again. He'll practice extra. He will put in extra effort to get, just to be as half as good as the more talented players on the team. But he'll put in more effort. Kind of like that movie Rudy. For those of you guys that haven't seen that movie Rudy, or that have seen the movie Rudy, it's basically like what the coach told Rudy. It's like, I wish God would put your heart in some of my players' bodies. It's like something like that. I feel that with Infinity Ward, in terms of the amount of support they give their game, regardless of the fact of whether or not their fans may or may not like it, or whether it's not their thing, or whether they got a bad taste for the game or whatnot, the amount of post-launch support that they gave that game, and with a whole bunch of free things that they've put out there, so that way everybody can get new weapons and all that kind of stuff, instead of putting everything 100% behind a paywall and everything like that, and their supply drop system and the way they had it, to where you can grind for specific weapons and how you can choose which specific weapon you wanted to unlock. Granted, you grinded and everything like that. And in terms of what they tried to accomplish, I can't say that I hate them for that, to be honest. And I know that not everybody agrees. I know that there are other people that absolutely hate Infinite Warfare. I still get messages in the comment section till this day that Infinite Warfare was the worst game in Call of Duty history, if not one of the worst games in Call of Duty history. I respectfully disagree. I think it's one of the more underrated games, to be honest. When you look at it from every single perspective, I seriously think it's severely underrated. And the thing is, when you go from Modern Warfare 3 to what they did with Ghosts, and then after that to what they did with Infinite Warfare, and I don't like Ghosts, I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I don't like Ghosts. It had its moments, but I don't really like Ghost all that much. They should have had a lot more of what made that. There was very little that made that game really good, and they should have had a lot more of that in there. And if they did, it could have been one of the best Call of Duties ever made. And I've mentioned that in previous videos before, but they just decided to go the opposite direction of what Treyarch did with Black Ops 2, and completely went the other direction, and unfortunately failed in a lot of aspects. But their DLC was good because they got the message. The DLC was really good. They had some really unique ideas that haven't really been done before, like the whole Michael Myers thing, and the different kinds of maps, the really uniqueness of their maps and their DLC and all that. That's fine. But with Infinite Warfare, the amount of post-launch support was absolutely insane, because they got so much hate and everything like that. These guys did everything in their power to say to the community, like, hey, please try our game, give our game a shot. They did everything and anything you could possibly think of post-launch. Kind of similar to what Sledgehammer did after Schofield and Condrey left, or whatever the deal was with them. So these guys, like I said, they remind me of that one player that just isn't as talented, but will actually try his ass off and will actually do their best to make the best game that they possibly can make, regardless of the fact that maybe they're unstable in terms of the people that work there, that keep on working and not working there, and the changes in positions and all that kind of stuff. They absolutely do their best, and it shows from the presentation and all that kind of stuff. I feel, especially with everything that we've been that's been come to light over the past couple of days in terms of all sorts of different companies and Treyarch and all that kind of stuff, whatever, whether it's true or not, it is what it is, whatever. As well, I'm sure we'll find out more. I mean, and if it is true, it's absolute bullshit what happened, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into that, but because I'm sure you already know. But the thing is that I feel that it's almost as if Treyarch, to a certain extent, is kind of so cocky that sometimes it just, not sometimes, just that very recently, it almost feels like, which I could be very, very well wrong. It almost feels like they didn't give it their all, it's almost like as if they were like, to a certain extent, cocky. It's like, yeah, we know people are hyped about our game because we're fucking Treyarch. These guys over here in Infinity Ward, they don't have that same level of confidence, but they will absolutely try their balls off to make the best game that they possibly can. And the biggest thing is also now is that they're going back to their franchise, Modern Warfare 4, because they haven't gone back to the Modern Warfare era since Modern Warfare 3. So now they're going back to that, and on top of that, there are old members of the old Infinity Ward that are basically back. Last time I heard and read that they're back and they're put in the same positions that they were before they left. So that's going to spark something that's really good. Maybe these other guys that have been in it for a while, they can kind of concur and they can kind of learn from each other and all that kind of stuff, and make the game that much better in every single way possible. Because right now with Infinity Ward, we know what we can expect, but in one of those things that we can expect, other than the things that we've been talking about in terms of the connection, the hit detection, and the smoothness of it and everything like that, one thing we can definitely expect is we can actually expect a damn good effort from them. And when it comes to everything, when it comes to anything like that, isn't that what all we can ask for out of people? Really, like, no matter what. I mean, all you can ask from a person, legitimately, is for them to give it their all. And I believe that we definitely get that with Infinity Ward. And for that reason, I empathize and I actually have faith in them. And I think that come Modern Warfare 4, and I'm calling it now. Some of you guys may agree, some of you may disagree, some of you think maybe thinking I'm delusional. Fine. You have your every God-given right to agree or disagree with me, and that's fine. But respectfully speaking, I have total faith that these guys will make us a damn good game, and it could be one of the better Call of Duties ever. And a lot of people might just be like, holy shit, I didn't think they could make a Call of Duty that's this good. I think they may surprise us to a great degree this year. And it's going to be boots on the ground. I'm pretty sure we know that for sure. So, and there's a lot of things that they can do that they can bring back that the Infinity Ward studio originally had brought in, which a lot of people are looking forward to and that we haven't had in a while. Like the specialists from Modern Warfare 3 or the specialists from Ghost, just to name one or two things. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comments what you think. What are your feelings about Infinity Ward? Do you guys have faith in them or not as much faith? Or are you just going to wait and give them one last shot, and then after that, if it sucks, you're out completely? I mean, where do you stand? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments section. And that's all I got for this one, guys. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.